share a project they're working on or an interesting topic they want to speak about. So it's kind of an aim to create this innovation culture and create a community so that everyone's sharing ideas and talking about new things and hearing inspiring people talk. So, and today we have Arky. Thank you so much for joining us today. He is the maintainer of Internet in the Box, which is an offline server that runs on low-cost computers, and it's been deployed in many countries already, and it works in rural, remote areas. So yeah, we'll run for about an hour. In that, we'll have a question and answer session at the end. But for now, I'm going to hand over to Arky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. If you're anything like me, you're impatient and you want to try out what exactly is Internet in a Box, you can just pull out your phones and you can connect to this access point. Internet in a Box is this tiny box that is sitting right here. So when you log in, you're actually logging into this particular device. All right. So how many of you use free and open source software? Can you name any that you're using?
The free and software.
You use? Yeah. What do you use? Can you name any names?
Firefox.
Yes, Firefox. There you go.
QGIS.
Yeah.
QGIS.
QGIS is one of the biggest one.
R.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. So I just wanted to get an idea of like what open source is. If you go online today and if you want to browse the web, Firefox, Chrome is also open source. This particular small router that you see, which is giving you offline, the software that runs inside it is actually open source as well. I don't know where your router is, but most likely it is running an open source operating system called Linux. Thank you so much for encouraging me to talk low-key, Asante Sana. And the IDE team, thank you, Akunchara, for inviting me to talk. I'm hoping that this will be like an open conversation, much more. The reason I wanted to give this talk is I'm hoping you could kind of give me design suggestions. I'm a programmer. I have no sense of design. Everything that you see here is bleeding edge. That means it is something I wrote like late last night. And you're the first people that are using it in the world. So things will break. So keep that in mind. So I'm from India, you can tell. I have a very big accent. I was part of an early group of self-taught technologists who designed systems so that we could learn. This was before the internet. So we were designing systems to kind of get online and try to use systems that would help us learn more. So Internet in a Box is perhaps one of the things that I designed for myself. So it is users trying to design tools that they can use. I worked on Firefox team, and it was always been a design that is used by users. So when you hear about translating it into command, because they wanted to make sure that they can access internet using a command language interface. They don't have to like understand the words like download, synchronize. So that was the thing. My focus for the last 20 years has been simple. How can I use technology to make social impact? Can I use systems that are available locally, like this $20 router? Can I use that to enable a solution? In this case, using, can we provide materials for education? Can we provide materials for healthcare workers? If someone is in a remote IDP camp and they want to access like wash, sanitation information, can we provide that using a very simple thing? I was part of a group called Hackerspace Phnom Penh. It doesn't exist anymore because we can't pay rent. It's not a space anymore. It is just online on Facebook. You can go look for it. It's a group of very interesting people who are hands-on. So they build software. They use electronics to build tools, and it still very active, but we don't have a space. So if you're willing to give us a space, we'll come here to work. So, how many of you remember this little green project? So this was called One Laptop Per Child. It started way back. The goal was to create a $100 laptop for children, primarily for children. This is very rugged. It's a small device. It was so rugged, like it could last quite a bit when in a high humid, high temperature, the heat environment. The keyboard was very unique. The screen was anti-glare. This was one of the first screens that you could actually use in full sunlight. Because if you go to any schools in Cambodia, very often you will see that it's quite bright. And if you use any device, you're actually squinting. And it had two Wi-Fi points. Those little ears that come out are actually the Wi-Fi units. So children could actually get 4 of these laptops together, and they automatically would connect to each other. So the children were actually talking to each other using just this device. So there was no internet as such. So Internet in a Box started during that time, and the idea would be, we are trying to keep this project alive, at least in its software form, because to produce these computers, it's difficult, it is expensive, but we love the project, so we try to kind of keep it alive. And one way to keep it alive is to use a device produced by Raspberry Pi Foundation in the UK, and they have this $35 computer, which is pretty fantastic, and it has now it has built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and it has an slot for SD card. So we are trying to kind of use this particular device as a box, an information box. Yesterday I bought a SD card here in Cambodia. For a 128 megabyte SD card, it's like $40. So it is like really inexpensive. So before that, we were always putting content in an external hard drive, and that content would be connected to the device, and it will do it. But right now, SD cards are so inexpensive, so we started doing this. So the device runs an operating system called Linux, and it is very lightweight. It doesn't run Windows, it doesn't run Mac. It's a very lightweight operating system. And people like me, a core group of 4 people around the world, what we do is we create recipes, like cooking recipes. And so when someone wants to build an Internet in a Box, they can download, they can get a Raspberry Pi, they can install one of these operating systems, and then they run this recipe. And the recipe will say like, hey, what do you want to do? And it's like, oh, I want to make I want to put all of Wikipedia onto it, and then they run that particular recipe, and it kind of creates it. So that is the model that we are trying to do. Apart from education, there is a sister project called Medicine in a Box. This particular sister project does it provides some tools that could be used at the front line for medical purposes. It could be like data collection. It could be running a small clinic, not a hospital, but a small clinic in an IDP camp where you can get patients and you can enter their medical information, or you can do some triaging. You can maintain a list of medicines that you have in store, for instance. So that kind of stuff. So if you haven't seen it already, we have a lot of material. In this particular demo server that I have very few of them. I have the whole of Cambodian Khmer Wikipedia. I have Khan Academy, which is very popular. Have you ever seen Khan Academy videos? Like, this is the most popular request that we get anywhere in the world. I was talking to a teacher from International School of Phnom Penh, and I asked them, hey, what do you use to teach math in your school? And they say like, oh, the children go home and watch Khan Academy on YouTube, maybe like on algebra or something, and then they do some exercises, and they come back into the classroom, and the teacher who and they have a discussion. It's like, hey, where did you get stuck? And they go like, oh, I got stuck here. And this model is called flipped classroom, and that's what they do at International School of Phnom Penh, which is the best school in town, it seems. And we have the same content on this box, and it will be deployed out in Bulding in a very small school somewhere, and the children will be actually using the same content. So they could be in the school, either they can use a tablet or a parent's mobile phone. Children here steal all their parents' mobile phones, and they could actually watch the same videos, but not from YouTube. These videos are coming from this device. So if they are anywhere close to school, inside the classroom, or close to the school, the Wi-Fi does spread a little bit, 10, 15 meters outside the school, they could continue to watch those videos, and they can do. So I talked about recipes, right? So we use these recipes to get content from many different places. CDC, the UNESCO. This particular screenshot is a deployment in Guatemala. That's why it's in Spanish. And this deployment that is actually running is in Myanmar. So it is quite interesting to see that the content is being used offline. One of the things that when I'm talking to people, they say like, oh, but we got 3G everywhere, right? Why do you need a box like this that's providing this content? My answer to them is, how many, if you have a school of 100 children or 200 children, if everyone is watching on YouTube, do you think you can pay for the internet? Do you think like how much it will cost you to see these videos continuously? Forget about the speed. And the answer is like, no, it's not possible. It's not possible to see. So even in a place where you have 3G, when you download all this content and provide them in an easy format, like you bring your own device and you connect, and you can start watching these videos or reading those books or download them and take them with you, it is still considered as a good solution. And we've been trying to solve this particular problem of how do we send content to remote places, and it's like one easy solution is provide 5G everywhere, right? Not really possible, because when you start watching videos and when you start like providing a lot of content, there isn't an internet connection in the world that could be as fast as someone carrying a SD card or a hard drive with full of content. That is the fastest internet in the world. And this thing, we call it, there are many names for it. The simplest one is called sneaker net, because you're actually carrying this content and running to the next school. This is considered the world's fastest internet. And this is quite popular in Africa because there is no infrastructure, but it's slowly coming here in Southeast Asia when people are starting realizing like, oh, internet is there, but still we need offline content. Okay, this is the time when I stop talking and show you what exactly this is. Any questions before we go? All right, it's pretty simple, I guess. I'm going to switch to a browser. This is coming. So this is offline internet. That means it is throwing a Wi-Fi signal, but the Wi-Fi is not connected to the internet. It's like more like an intranet. And that's why instead of .com, you have like .lan. So when you connect to the device, you have to type. At this moment, you have to type like this. It's pretty fast because it's local. And let's start seeing what. This is a UI that I'm starting to work. So if you have any feedback and if you want to help, you can help. So for instance, this is some books which could be read online. Oh, my inside weather. I don't know what that is. So it's a book that's actually now downloaded to my device. I can read that. There are a few others. Like Africa storybook. So you see a lot of content was actually made for Africa because that's where the project takes. This is a very simple books that were used to teach basic sentence structure. Pretty cute. Oh, of course we have one of my favorites, cats and dogs. Who doesn't like cats and dogs? I'm a dog person. But, this is, all right, let's see what they got. So you learn basic words. Ball, cat, boat. We also see that more and more the content is being produced locally. This particular project called Let's Read, they actually started doing in Khmer. They started translating books into Khmer so we could provide content. Oh, there you go. That's one. But I have an English one. So the next project that I have coming up is a tuk-tuk that goes around the schools in Pursat. And when the tuk-tuk comes close to a school, we give out tablets. And, kids could either use the tablets or go steal dad's phone. It's like, hey, I have to get new books. And they download these books and go back home. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Apart from books are really popular. I talked about Khan Academy. So Khan Academy started when someone, this guy, Mr. Khan, wanted to teach math to his niece. So he was actually doing Skype calls with his niece, and then they soon found out, like, his niece friends were like, oh, I wish we had that kind of coaching. So he started making these videos and putting them on YouTube. And this became such a huge sensation that now it's a big foundation in San Francisco. And they went on from just videos. So the problem with videos and books is, like, you expect the child to read, but there is no feedback, right? There is, like, did you learn the word? It might be a good idea to actually have some kind of quiz at the end. This version, not only you watch the video, but you actually take the quiz, and then you can actually track your progress. Or a teacher could track the progress of how far people have come. So for instance, this is an early math from India. Counting, I still can't do math. I had such a bad math teachers. So this is not video, but an exercise. 5, I think. Maybe it is. Okay. All right. Check answer. All right. So you actually do a bunch of exercises. I don't know math. Did math. Or something a bit more advanced to. Ooh. I wouldn't know what this is, but there you go. So Khan Academy is really popular, and one of the things that we need to do in future is most of this content is not aligned to what children learn in their schools. So, for instance, like if you take this course and you go back to write your grade 8 examination, the content is not yet aligned, but we are working some way to kind of find those content and align it to what children are actually learning. Because the problem of education is this. We can't train enough teachers in the world. We can't pay them. My mother is a teacher, and I remember it would be months when she wouldn't get paid because there was some issue. We can now solve that problem. But we could use technology to kind of like make teachers more effective, or maybe give students an ability to learn on their own. And Khan Academy and Collaborate, which is coming out, are kind of bridging the gap where children can learn on their own. Think of it as massive online courses, but offline. All right. There is Wikipedia. this particular project is called Kivix, which came out of Bamako in Mali. So for instance, I don't read command, but there is an offline command. The interesting thing about this is it's searchable. So maybe, okay, let's search. So the content is offline, but there are functionality that's available that would enable you to search and bookmark, or if I like, actually, if I particularly like this page, I could print it or take a screenshot or something like that. Or like that. So Wikipedia is kind of very popular. One of the things that we are kind of trying to encourage in schools is that to do more of exploratory learning. Right now, if you are in India, if you're in Cambodia, most often teachers are like, it's like, this is the course, I'm going to teach this to you. And you basically memorize this and come back and write it in the examination. But the thing what we are encouraging is, why don't children go and do research on their own, right? You know, you can give them a topic and they use their device and go and research and they come back. This kind of research-based education would actually make children much more effective in their work in future, because they start to think for themselves. They get these basic skills of research, and we are trying to provide a Wikipedia for that. Teachers could also download content. For instance, if a teacher has a 3G connection, they could download it on their phone or device and bring it on an SD card, and they could copy it onto the internet in a box. And so, for instance, I just have some books that teachers have downloaded, or actually, this is a video that's done by Mozilla, and that's actually playing from the device. So this was like kind of like a feature that was asked in Mexico. The teachers in Mexico, they use a 3G connection to kind of find a video on YouTube that teaches a particular thing, and they would download it and then they bring it into the school. And as soon as they plug it into the device, it gets anybody who's connected to this could actually do it. So basically, it's like download once and then share multiple times. But also, the same concept could be used by a project called Health Phone. Basically, they have same videos that are being delivered locally in an IDP camp. We have tools like, this is offline maps. So this is another project called OpenStreetMaps, which is user-generated. It's Google Maps, but made by everyone. So this is available offline. So you go to this website and search for, say, come on, maybe Berlin. So there you go, it's big slow. If you're learning about Berlin, you could actually go offline and you can explore. You don't have any copyright issues. You could take screenshots. You could use it for whatever you want. If you take a screenshot of Google Maps, you're in trouble. Everyone does it, but you're in trouble. Because it's not truly open. How about Phnom Penh? Ah, there you go. Phnom Penh. So, okay. Oh, okay, there's the cave. So right now it doesn't zoom more than this, but kind of gives you a, if you're doing a geographic class, this is something that could be used, right? There is much more. This is called Collaborate, which is the next generation learning tool that we are all working on. It's from the same folks who have done Khan Academy. So I have an example here. Simple game that could be played. So this is actually a real time. So you have to say duck, and you know how it works. So basically, plot it in. So the interesting thing about Collabri is this: they are. Remember, I talked about teachers downloading content from YouTube and sharing, but there is not a tool where teachers could make their own course based on various contents that they have either made or collected. Collabri is trying to solve that problem by allowing people to actually create a course, then send it off to the school or to the students, and they could start learning together, and the grading and assessment is done. The biggest challenge for doing this offline is that programmers like me, we were like doing hacky scripts to do it, but now we have a tool that is fully funded, and there is a group of people that are working to do these kind of things. There are some issues involved with downloading content. For instance, if I have to download the whole of Khan Academy, it is 45 gigabytes. So I tried, as a test, I tried to download in my home in Phnom Penh, and it took me 1 week.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So it took me 1 week to download, but now I have it, so I copied it onto this device, and I can just send it to Bulding, and then it is out there. The cost of this setup is about $140. The prices in Cambodia are a bit higher than the world, but if we do it, if we get a better funding and buy a lot of them, maybe the price will come down to $100. So it is like really we are achieving that goal of $100. Going back to my talk. So what's the future? The future for me is like better tools, which would look good and which would make a lot of common sense. So UX is my big priority. This project has been running for 10 years, so some of the code that was written is like, it looks like 1990s. It doesn't work so well if you're like a very small phone or something like that. So UX is the thing. Scalability is a big problem. So it takes a week to download some of the content. So at least someone who is deploying internet in a box has to download it. So usually it is volunteers who are in a well-connected places. They download the content, they make the box, and then they send it away. So I'm using some kind of systems like BitTorrent. Everyone has used BitTorrent to download movies, right? So we are using the same technology, BitTorrent, but for a good purpose, to actually download content and distribute them easily. The interesting thing about BitTorrent is, if the more the number of people who are downloading the content, the faster it gets. So if 3 or 4 people are downloading the same content in Phnom Penh, the content gets downloaded locally, so thereby optimizing the internet use. So I'm using BitTorrent. We just landed today to do the content download. P2P sharing is, remember I said like there will be tuk-tuk that will be going around the schools. So the tuk-tuk has content that was downloaded in their office that has internet, so they get the latest content. And as the tuk-tuk goes to a school, the computer, the internet in a box that's in the school, gets the latest content from this. And then when the tuk-tuk goes to school too, the latest content gets automatically transferred. This is very powerful because there is no need for infrastructure other than this particular box being powered by a small battery on the tuk-tuk and a solar panel in the school. So we are doing content delivery that is really powerful. So this will land in October, that is like 2 months, and we'll start testing the thing. So Cambodia doesn't have a lot of adoption of this one, but in November we'll have a first school that completely runs off these tiny computers called Raspberry Pis. We'll have 34 computers, 35 school computers that will be powered by this Raspberry Pi and then a library thing. First quarter next year, if we get money, that's always the thing, right? Even for $100 or $120, I have to beg, borrow, not steal. People say like, hey, let's use something inexpensive to deliver content. But it's a challenge. Everyone wants to make mobile apps. Nobody's talking about offline internet. No one's talking about content distribution. But I can't blame you. So that's going to happen. I have a new project coming up. This is, it's going to be sub $50, so it will be around $20 or $30. It won't have so much of content, but it's primarily designed for South Sudan. So it's a basic router, not unlike what you use here. You take it out to South Sudan, plug it in, put a small pen drive. The pen drives are so inexpensive, $8 for like 16 gigs. Plug it in, all the content that is there on that particular pen drive is distributed in the local network. So if there is a new message about how to be safe, how to dispose of bodies, not to touch them, because you'll get Ebola, for instance, if there's any messaging, you could actually deliver that messaging through that. This is a big engineering project. It will take some time, but we'll get it done. So maybe I come back in 6 months to show you this. All right, thank you so much. I try to keep it small, but there's a lot more to talk. Please feel free to connect to this device and try it and touch it. You won't break it actually. It's pretty rugged. You have any questions? Yes.
How can we connect it?
How can you connect?
You want to try it out?
Oh yeah. There you go. Let's touch for
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Okay. Oh, sorry. There you go.
Yes.
So turn on your Wi-Fi.
Turn off Wi-Fi. I have one question. So,
Yes.
Because I'm not clear when you said tuk-tuk went around the school, and then if the tuk-tuk with this device, if the tuk-tuk has this latest content, so and this device also in school, so the one in school will have like the latest contents as well.
So basically,
So they are connected. So it seems like they are connected, all these devices.
yeah. So it's like when they come closer, both have Wi-Fi, and they get automatically connected on Wi-Fi. And then the one in tuk-tuk says to the school computer, "Hey, do you have any content for me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I have this content." And then it's like, "Send it over." So the content gets downloaded into the tuk-tuk. And it's like, "Hey, by the way, I got some new content from internet. Do you want it?" And they say like, "All right, send it over." So basically, it is using Wi-Fi.
Okay, between these two devices.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it needs to. Okay, I because I just want to be clear.
Yes.
So, but the one at school need to download the one from the one at the tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
Need to download or no need to download? I mean, the student around can use the one from the school, but these two devices already linked to each other without downloading the contents.
So this synchronization
Yes.
happens only like once in a week.
Okay.
It is only like giving an update. It will just give new content to the device
Automatically.
automatically.
Okay.
So because we want to give like latest content that's available, right? So it is just done once a week when it's available. But there is no human intervention required.
Okay, I know what you mean.
So right now, if you have to upgrade something on anything, like you have to click, and you have to sit there and do it, right? So this is the technical word for this is called mesh networking, and it is using a mesh network. So when two devices with like two internet in a box come together and they make this connection, they go like, oh, they can talk to each other now, and then they do this information exchange.
Okay.
using point-to-point network, which is called P2P.
What is the distance normally, like the maximum distance?
So this particular device that you're seeing here can do about 20 meters, but the optimum speed is like 10 meters is like good internet connection, but as you go away from there, further it reduces, as well as walls and trees, they are always good. So if needed, we could actually put multiple routers so we can spread the internet. But right now, 50 children could simultaneously connect to this device and watch videos at the same time. Yeah, so that's not possible even if you have optical fiber right now. But this is offline, so it's possible. Yes.
Who funds you then? Who's the people who are funding you? How do you make this work?
My mother.
That's
Yeah, literally it is. Open source developers are always being self-funded. Right.
But out of this box, have you not thought of getting any sponsorship from corporations, from local businesses, or?
Yeah. So Internet in the Box is primarily volunteer-based. People are doing it because they care about the mission. Some projects like Collaborate, KLI, they are now part of big foundations. They have grants. They have grants from UNICEF. They have grants from various large organizations. And the developers who are working on those projects,